girl.
Are we rocking and rolling?
Who is she?
We'll put the mic on you.
Thank you.
You ready to rock and roll, Tam?
Thank you. Thank you. Like the camera or the little preview?
This camera right here.
Okay.
Today, I'm sitting down with Tam, better known as the Locpreneur, but this conversation isn't about hair. It's about identity, evolution, and what happens when you're called to become something more. So Tam, there is something different about you today. What happened to your locks?
What happened to my locks? Well, after 22 years, it was time for a change. I was locked for 22 years, and it was just an end of an era for me. I've been intentionally working on my identity for a few years now, and so letting go of my hair, letting go of my locks was just a part of that process and just a part of the journey. And I'm really excited. I feel very free. I love the new look, and I'm excited to see what unfolds for me as I continue to mold this new identity for myself.
Beautiful. So we're going to come back to that because it's an important part of your story. But before we do, I want people to know who Tam is before this moment. What was life like growing up? And just tell me about the version of you before anyone knew you.
Before anyone knew me, so I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, better known as Duval. And so that's where my roots started. And as I graduated high school, I ended up coming to Orlando, and I went to UCF. And that's pretty much where my journey of locks started. I did not know at the time, but my senior year, I ended up saying that, I'm gonna start locks. And I didn't know why. I had short hair back then. And I was like, I'm gonna start some locks. Nobody believed me. It was natural hair was not really a thing during that time, girls wearing their natural hair. But I was just like, I'm gonna start my locks. And I came to UCF, and the fall of my first year, 2004, I locked my hair. And that really just catapulted into a brand for me. I started doing my hair. So the girl who taught me how to do my hair, shout out to Renee. She taught me how to do my locks, taught me how to retwist. And I just kind of took over from there. She ended up moving away. And so I just took over and started doing my hair. And then more people around campus, they would ask me like, who does your hair? So I started doing their hair. Then it just grew and started to become a thing. And I'm thinking I'm in school, I'm about to graduate, I'm about to get a good job, and I'm about to just leave hair behind, never thinking that decision was going to evolve into an entire brand and lifestyle for me. So when I graduated, it was prior to the 2008 Obama election, and things were so crazy. So more people were losing jobs than actually offering positions. And at that time, I really wasn't clear on what I wanted to do. Entrepreneurship has been something that has always been in my blood. My dad is an entrepreneur, so I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I've always wanted to have my own business, but I never thought that hair would be the thing. I always kind of thought that I needed to go out to come back in, when I always had this in me, like from the beginning. So I ended up kind of just wandering around for a couple of years and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I thought I would go to get my master's. I thought I would go into an MBA program. And when that did not work out for me, I was like, you know what? F it. I'm about to go, and I'm about to start iTwist Orlando. And iTwist Orlando was the birthing of my first brand here in Orlando. And I ended up shaving the side of my head and dyeing it blonde, platinum blonde. And the rest of my hair was like dark, and it was long. And that became my identity, iTwist Orlando. And that's how I started to build my clientele. I've worked with professional athletes from the NFL, the WNBA, the NBA, so many different people, entertainment. And it just kind of evolved from there. A lot of my clients have now become friends to me, family to me. I'm involved with their lives. It has literally become an entire lifestyle, and I could not be more happier of the decision that I made to do things my way. And as the years have, passed and things have evolved, I've grown up, I've matured, my mindset has changed around a lot of things, and identity has come into the forefront of who do you want to be beyond the chair. And so that's when a few years ago I started this intention or this initiative called Scaling Beyond the Chair. And that really just rolled me into a series of different things that have happened personally, business wise, that have now landed me with this pixie cut and with a lot more other things happening in my life.
Beautiful. I bet a lot of people didn't know that about you.
Yeah, probably not.
So scaling beyond the chair, that's where that came from. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so Scaling Beyond the Chair came from me realizing that, okay, I have so many different gifts and talents and interests and just passions within me. And I've always felt like hair is cool. I can do it. I'm good at it. But it's not something that I wanted to do forever. I wanted to explore more parts of myself, my brain, my creativity. And throughout the years, I've gone into other ventures and I've done other things, but I feel like I've always been bound to the chair. And so Scaling Beyond the Chair was my opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to do something beyond hair, beyond the chair. Like I'm going to express myself beyond hair, because I feel like sometimes you get stuck in a box, right? You can get stuck in a box of doing the same thing. That's how people know you. And so my Scaling Beyond the Chair was like pretty much my declaration to saying I'm doing more than just hair. And I also realized that everything starts with the identity, right? And so as I set forth of Scaling Beyond the Chair, that opened up a lot of opportunities for me to get into different things, whether it be like helping a friend with a food truck, or it be going to volunteer, or even starting in a whole nother direction, getting a certification, scaling into tech, which is which is one of my most recent ventures that I've rolled into. And so that really just opened up my identity and opened up my my presence on social media to be able to express beyond the chair and be able to let people know, let myself know, like, hey, there's more to me than just doing hair. And so that's how Scaling Beyond the Chair had become a thing. And it just kind of started, and so many other things happened after that. After I made that declaration.
That's powerful. That's
Yeah.
powerful. Okay, so you're becoming more than one thing.
Yes.
Walk me through your evolution into products, consulting, systems, wellness, studio ownership, corporate work,
Oh
and
my
what's still
gosh.
coming.
Oh my gosh. So many, as you're saying now, I'm just getting visuals in my head of like all the different things that I've done. And like what I was just saying, like those things, all of those things that you name excite me. I've done events. I've hosted a event called Gifts and Girlfriends. Gifts and Girlfriends is a network, a women's network event, a holiday women's network event. I did it with my partner, Lamara, and we partnered for like 5 years doing an annual event. And it was an amazing, successful event, and where we brought women together and to celebrate their wins for that year and to go into the next year making different connections. And so that was an event that I was involved in. I also did events at my studio, Create and Co., which were self-care Sundays, and just a series of like healing type of events with modalities that I even used during my own healing journey, which is nutrition, yoga, sound bowl, sound healing, just different things that you can use to help to elevate your journey and your life. And so that was a part of me expressing and showcasing that and sharing that with just the community. As far as when it comes to consulting, I ended up getting a certification. So as I've been this solopreneur for over the last 10 years, I've really had to learn technology integration into my business to help me automate things, to support systems, because when you're doing a lot of things by yourself, it's really difficult to maintain, right? And so I really got into like systems and learning technology and pushing myself to learn technology and integrate it into my business, right? And so I realized, like, wait, everything that I've been doing as an entrepreneur, I can now roll those skills into a corporate position, which elevates me even more financially, elevates me, my identity even more business wise. It just supports everything that I'm doing, right? And so I ended up getting a certification. Shout out to my homegirl, Air. She really stood by my side and really helped me to push into this system called Smartsheet. And Smartsheet is a project management tool which helps businesses to automate their task and just support their business, right? And so that's how I really started into consulting. I got my certification. I moved into consulting. I ended up hiring a business coach, and she really helped me to just, shout out to Jess. She really helped me to just like talk the corporate talk. She really helped me prepare for interviews and really just position myself in the corporate market to be able to elevate in that space. And so now I'm able to work my business on my terms, but also explore my consulting part of myself, which also leads me into supporting the products that I have. Care Essentials Hair Care is a brand that I created during my time of doing hair. I noticed that my clients were dealing with an issue of their hair being dry and their locks being dry. And a lot of the products on the market at that time, they would leave a lot of buildup in the hair. It was, they weren't offering a system. So there I go again, going back to the systems, right? And so I created a hydrating system. It is a 2-part system. It is a hydrating mist and a hair oil. And you use the products together to help heal, hydrate, and grow your hair without a lot of unnecessary buildup. And so my clients really, adapted to the product and loved the product. And so I started to sell it and I started to market it. And then now I ship the product all over. I've done events with my product. And so now I'm in the space of rebranding the product, really figuring out, okay, where do I want to go in this space? Where does it fit in this space of where I am right now, scaling beyond the chair with my client, with myself and also with my clients. And so the product is amazing. It works. And so I'm thinking about holding on to it and continuously pushing it and continuously moving it into different spaces and also growing the brand. And so, so that's products, that's consulting, that is events. What else did you say? You said something else.
I did. I said consulting, systems, wellness.
Systems. Okay, wellness. So the wellness was pretty much attached to the events that I was doing at Create & Co., the studio that I own. And I was sharing with the community different modalities and ways that you can heal yourself. But honestly, like when it comes to wellness, that's just a part of who I am. That's a part of my lifestyle. That's a part of my identity. And so there are some other wellness things that I'm working on behind the scenes to be able to continue to curate that part of my lifestyle. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited about those things.
Awesome. So congratulations. Congratulations on the new you that you're becoming.
Yes.
The products that you're putting out there, you're really doing the works, and a lot of people can benefit from these products. So
For sure.
I am proud of you as far as that. So that's some juicy stuff. That's some juicy stuff right there. So
Thank you.
we got some more juicy stuff coming
Okay.
up.
Like
Talk
what?
about cutting your locks. What did your locks represent? When did you know it was time to cut them? And just walk me through that day.
Okay, so